All right, what's going on, y'all? Now, this is going to be me talking about music and sampling and stuff like that. So I know a lot of you on my channel, you might not be into that kind of stuff, but that's what I'm going to be talking about. But anyway, I want to start out with this. Today, there's a lot of sampling artists. And this is nothing against sampling artists, but I'm almost tired of hearing so many sampling artists, because there's really nobody that is making their music from the ground up anymore. Like, is there anybody that starts with a drum kit and then builds on with their own melodies and their own sounds and goes about doing it like that, taking the time and the effort to put into doing that? It's because I know a lot of y'all, you ain't gonna agree with me, but I think it's just too easy to go and get a sample and start sampling somebody's music that's already mixed and mastered, and then taking that and then putting it into a project and using it, and then adding a little bit of effects and then calling it yours and mixing it up in a bowl of soup. I understand. I like some sample beats, but to me, it's too easy. It's just way too easy. And there's something, hear me out, there's something that it kind of makes me angry in a way, because I know y'all are better than this. It's like, why do we all think that we need to go to someone else's music and sample it when we have keyboards, we have a million sound effects, we have a million drum kits, a million one-shot samples that we can use, but yet we don't want to do that. We don't want to go and make our own stuff. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. And I know a lot of you're going to disagree. You probably already cut the video off. But it's like, when I go and I listen to someone's beats or what they do, I want to hear what they created with their own hands. I want to hear something that they made with their own hands, like a melody or some drums that they did. Now, I understand a lot of you do make the drum rhythms yourself, but a lot of people don't make it themselves. They're just taking a sample of a rhythm and they're putting it together, and they're taking another sample and they're putting it together, and it's like, it's just recycled music to me. And I just don't understand, why are so many people, do you just not want to take the time and the effort to put in to making your own thing? I mean, because what I do, and I don't have a lot of stuff on my channel, but what I do, it takes time. It could take me days sometimes to finish a beat, because I make it from the ground up. I start with a kick, I start with a snare, I start with my voice, I start with a synth sound, I start with an instrument sound, I start with a clap, I start with the little things, and then I build it up over time. And it's just, I've just hear so many sampling artists today. And I don't know, maybe I am knocking you. Maybe I am knocking all the sampling artists, because I don't know. It's like everyone says, well, a beat is a beat. But you can tell when you listen to someone's stuff, you can tell whether it's sampled or it's something that they made kind of themselves. You can kind of tell right away. So maybe I am getting on y'all a little bit, because I know that you can do better. I know that we can do better than this. And so many people call themselves producers. They're really not producers. They're sampling / beat makers. Me, I'm a producer and a beat maker. I produce my own stuff. I make stuff with my own fingers and my own hands, not just the drums, not just the hi-hats and all that. I do everything with my own hands. Everything. you know, and you would say, oh, well, I'm doing it with my hands too, but you're taking clips and segments and parts of other people's music and putting it into something, and then you're mixing it up a little bit and then calling it your own thing. I mean, how can you call something that you took from someone else? To me, it's stealing. I'm sorry, just to me, it's stealing. And I know a lot of you're going to get offended because there's so many of you that sample music. But don't start like that. Don't cut yourself thin because you want to sample someone else's stuff. Make your own stuff from the ground up, and that's how you will get to where you won't need to sample other people's music. You can make your own music, and you can sample your own beats. You can sample your own sounds and your own voice, and you can do things yourself, you know? Now, I'm not saying there might be a time where I want to sample like someone saying a word or something real quick, or someone, you know, like a movie where someone's making some kind of sound or saying something. I'm not saying that I ain't never gonna do that, but when you're taking whole segments of someone else's music and you're taking whole patches of someone else's work that they put the time and effort into, and then you're taking it and putting it into an MPC and you're chopping it up and you're putting it into samples. If I did that, I mean, you're gonna think that I'm crazy when I say this because I know y'all don't know me like that. I have thousands of beats. I just haven't been putting music out. But if I would be a sampling artist, I would be rich. I know I would be. I know I would be making... It's because it's easy. It's easy for me to go and hear someone else's thing that's already done and say, well, I can get that and put this with it and do that with it and put this with it and do that. There's nothing to it. I mean, people say there is something to it, though. People say this is some kind of mastering art or something, and I disagree. I disagree. Because I know so many other people, they're going to agree that it is. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not on here to blatantly come at sampling artists, because I'm not saying that I ain't ever going to sample anything. But there is a big difference when you're using samples like claps and one-shots and hi-hats and snares and kicks and synthesizers that you have to make yourself. And there's a difference between that and then taking someone else's, you know, music and chopping it up and putting it into sequences and tracks and patterns. There's a big difference. You know, I've been doing this for 21 years and I never took the route of sampling. I never sampled. Never. I own 7 drum machines, and right now I have a Roland JDXI, I have an Electribe 2, and I have an MPC 1. And the only thing that I'm lacking is a better synthesizer, a better instrument that I can make my own melodies and sounds with. That's the only thing I'm lacking. If I had that, I wouldn't need to do anything. I wouldn't need to do any sampling or none of that. And I don't sample as it is. I use the stock sounds that come with these machines. And I know from what I'm creating, if y'all would put in the time and the work and the effort to make your own stuff from complete scratch, and you keep doing this and you keep putting the time and effort into it, I'm telling you, you're going to start developing this skill, and then you're going to say, my goodness, I did this. You know what I mean? You're going to say, I made this. I made this melody. I put these hi-hats and drums together. I did this. You know, I got it from someone else and then mixed it up and then called it my own, you know? So that's just a little bit of how I feel about it. And I know 95% of people, they're either not going to watch the video or they're not going to agree with me. But I'm telling you, yes, I am a nobody right now. I am not known. I am not no famous artist. Nobody knows who I am. But I'm telling you, I've been doing this for 20 some years. I have, like I said, I have over 1,000 beats right now in my Electribe, my Roland, my MPC-1, and on the FL Studio. I have about 1,200, 1,300 beats. And that's the last like 2 years, 2.5 years I made those. And I made a lot more, but I erased a lot because I fill up the patterns on these drum machines and there's no more space on there. So I have to delete it, you know, because I didn't have nothing to save into at the time. I didn't have an SD card or nothing. So the ones that were bad, I deleted and got rid of, and I kept the ones that I think I was going to use. So actually, I made more than that. I probably made about 1,600 beats because I erased hundreds of beats. So I'm just telling y'all this because it's just, I'm tired of the same thing. You know, I'm sorry y'all, but it's too easy to sample other people's music and to put it together and make it something and then put a little bit of an effect on it. It's basically already done for you when you do it. That's all you have to do is chop it up and sample it. So please don't get offended. I'm telling y'all this because I want to make you better artists. I want to make you come up with your own creations more than what you ever had before. Because see, I've been doing this from the very start. I didn't start out by sampling beats. I didn't start out by taking snippets of rhythms and patterns and loops and all that. I made my own patterns, my own loops, my own stuff, melodies and everything. And it just worked out way better. I'm telling you, it just worked out way better. So if you got this far in the video, I got a lot more stuff coming. I'm just building up my sound right now. You know, it's not completely where I want it. I know it will never be exactly where I want it, but I still have a little bit of learning myself to do. And I've been doing this for 20 years. So, you know, it's just a constant learning game. It's never figured out. But, you know, I don't know. There's just, I'm there, but I'm not there. You know, where I live, I can't really do vocals here. I live right next to a highway. You can hear right through the walls. They're paper thin. I can't really record here, and that's what's stopping me from doing a lot of the stuff that I want to do. But I do have a ton of beats, though, you know. I'm about to just put out a beat tape or something to let everybody hear what I'm doing by myself, you know. Because I got so much stuff, but I know what I'm talking about. I'm just letting y'all know I know what I'm talking about. I'm not bullshitting y'all when I say this. You know, I've been listening to all types of different music for 20 years. I've been making different genres. I don't make just one genre neither. Don't just focus on one genre or one way of making beats or doing music. Think of many ways. Go outside of the box. Be different, but yet yourself. You know, ain't people tired of the same stuff, you know, doing the same stuff over and over again? Go outside of your comfort zone and do something different. So that's just my thoughts on it. So I know a lot of y'all ain't going to agree with it, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and fake for anyone and act like, you know, like it's something that I don't think it is. So, you know, it is what it is. So, thanks for watching. SBN Resonate. Later on.